The world didn't end with fire. It ended with silence. That slowly learned how to become sound. A sound of wood breaking into shape. Clack, clack, clack. Hammer strikes against timber, echoing across a dry land that had never seen rain like the one being promised. And in the center of that impossible emptiness stood one man, Noah. He did not look at the sky the way others did, because looking at the sky meant remembering how normal the world used to feel. And normal was gone. They came to watch him at first, not to believe, just to watch. A man building a massive structure on dry ground, a ship with no ocean, a warning with no visible danger. Children laughed, men shook their heads, women whispered prayers they didn't understand. And Noah kept building.
Noah, what is this you build? Why this endless labor alone?
This is folly, Noah!
Will you not answer us?
The heavens will not flood!
Day after day, without stopping, without explaining. Why are you doing this? He never answered. Because how do you explain a future no one wants to see? The wood rose higher, beams stretching upward like ribs of something not yet alive. The structure grew so large it began to cast its own shadow over the land. And slowly, laughter disappeared, not because they believed him, but because something about it stopped feeling like a joke. Days turned into months. The heat didn't change. The sky didn't change. And yet, everything was changing, because animals began to arrive, two by two, from places no one saw them leave, walking past crowds that suddenly went quiet. Lions, birds, creatures of every kind, moving with purpose that didn't belong to instinct.
This is not normal.
Someone finally said it out loud. This is not normal. Noah heard it, still did not stop. The structure became massive, a wooden giant standing against reality itself. People no longer came to laugh. They came to stare, like you stare at something you don't understand, but feel you should.
Do you feel it? The air grows heavy.
Yes, something unseen is approaching. We must prepare.
The clouds gather. It is a sign.
Stay vigilant.
Because deep down, they knew something was coming. And then the sky changed. Not suddenly, not dramatically. At first, a softness, a hesitation, a single drop of water falling where no one remembered rain should exist. Then another, until the ground began to answer the sky.
The storm has passed. We are safe.
Yes, I feel in my heart.
We can rest now. Our prayers were answered.
People looked up, smiling. Finally, something ordinary, something explainable, something safe. But Noah's face did not change, because he knew this was not comfort. This was confirmation. The rain grew heavier, not stopping, not slowing, not asking permission. Fields turned to rivers, rivers turned to oceans. Paths disappeared like they had never existed. Panic began slowly, then all at once.
The waters rise! Stay together! Don't look back!
People ran in directions that no longer mattered, calling names that could no longer answer, clutching things that could no longer save them. And the ark stood above it all, unmoving, unshaken, like it was waiting for something inevitable to finish arriving. Then came the sound, a deep, final shift in the air, a moment where everything paused, as if the world itself took one last breath. And the door began to close. Not pushed, not pulled, just decided. Inside, silence, breathing. Fear held in tight spaces carved from obedience. Noah stood still among it all, listening, not to the storm, but to memory. Because outside those walls, the world he knew was disappearing forever. Water rose, higher, faster, unstoppable. Mountains vanished into gray distance. Cities dissolved into nothing but echo. The earth became one endless surface of movement and loss. And the Ark began to float, not violently, not chaotically, but steadily, like it had been designed for exactly this moment since the beginning of time. Inside, no one spoke. Outside, nothing remained to answer. Days passed without meaning. Time stopped being something you could measure, only something you survived. And Noah finally understood. The Ark was never about saving wood. It was about separating truth from disbelief, obedience from noise, life from everything that refused to listen. Because the world didn't end when the rain began. It ended long before that. The rain was only proof. And somewhere inside that endless water, one structure carried everything that was meant to continue, while everything else became silence again.